Hello and welcome back to SourceFedNerd with your daily dose of table talk, where we talk about your topics, your questions, your things and stuff, and just sometimes Steve's beard. But you can recommend other things on reddit.com/r/SourceFed or using the hashtag tabletalk on Facebook or Twitter. My name's Philip Franco.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
Joe Beretta.
We
always defer.
I know.
Have you made the switch to tea?
I have, because I haven't had coffee in 3 months.
Hell yeah, I want to do that. So normally
cut it out cold turkey.
On these table talks, you see me with the giant venti, right? So I've slowly gotten down to the tall.
Okay.
Right, slowly trying to wean myself so I don't get those headaches.
It's a
caffeine
quadruple
headaches.
shot, everybody.
It's literally just nothing but shots. It tastes terrible.
He has another one that he's going to pull out once he's done with this one.
No, this is a sleepy time tea. I highly suggest it. It doesn't put you to sleep.
Oh, I was like,
there's just no
motherfucker.
caffeine. It's soothing.
Why?
It feels
So
good.
why is it called Sleepy Time?
I don't know, because there's a sleeping bear on it.
That's what I think
It's
gotta
just
be.
marketing.
There's got to be something in it.
There's
It's
gotta be
just
something.
soothing. There's no caffeine is the thing. Like a lot of tea has caffeine in it. This doesn't have
What's
it.
the-
And there's like menthol in some of it. This is for your sinuses as well. It's great.
What's with the coffee thing, though? You just didn't want, you're done? You don't
I was literally, I'm the type of guy, I met my wife because of coffee. I'm a 2-pot a day type of guy when I was drinking it. Like, it's just like water. I'm nonstop when I have it. And then I just woke up one day and I was like, that doesn't affect me. I think when I was drinking coffee, it actually made me tired.
I can see that. Yeah, it gets to a point.
Yeah, so
It
I
gets to a
think
point.
I've been drinking too much for so long. I just said, screw it. I want to feel the effects of caffeine
Totally.
again. I haven't had soda in 3 years,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I figured I'd cut out the coffee. Did that cold turkey. Cut out beer on the same day. Cold turkey. Did that for 2 weeks, and I was like, no way.
No?
Love my beer. It tastes too good.
I can drop beer. I can't, like, I don't drink that much. Like, normally the only time I'll have any soda is, like, if I'm like, oh, I'll do, like, Jack and
I'll put it
Coke.
with something that's not soda.
But now, I mean, now if I have a drink, it's like, it's because I'm at, like, a bar with, like, a buddy, and I'll get, like, vodka soda water. That way I sip it.
Socialing it up. Yeah.
But then you get used to the soda water, and it doesn't slow you down anymore. You're just
Well,
like,
I
I'm
got
drinking it.
that. I got the Soda Stream thing. We talked about that.
You're like the so opposite extreme of me.
Intense
I got a Soda
opposite.
Stream.
Yeah, I bought my Soda Stream so I can make my soda at home. See, I'm like the guys that want to like brew their own beer, basically, but I just do it
See,
with
I
my
think
soda.
that's actually cool. I don't even like beer, but I'm like, that seems kind of cool.
It does, especially when I hate to bring up Breaking Bad, but you see Hank doing the Schrader
Dude,
brow. or
Drew
whatever.
made
It's like
me,
the same thing.
It is exactly.
Drew made me that special Drew brew for
Right.
Oh, how was
my
it?
wedding. It was delicious.
Yeah?
It was
Really?
really good, and it me up.
Well, if someone's making it, they
Dude,
can put as much alcohol
It was
in
so good. I brought it home that day, and I really wanted to taste it. And it was been sitting in his car all day, and then here, and it just wasn't. It wasn't cold,
Yeah.
but it was the first time I took ice, put it in a cup, and put the beer on ice. It was great. It
Really?
didn't taste bad. I didn't feel weird because I wasn't in the social situation either. It was good. Okay,
I was like, first 3 minutes on
Yeah.
me wanting to switch to tea.
let's go. Night Days from the Reddit says, if you could form a band with anyone from history of music, who would be in your band and why?
Is this what Bill and Ted 3 is going to be? It's going to
Oh,
be
I
them
know this
assembling the perfect band.
Well, why didn't they ever? I guess they've had their hot wives in it.
Well, but remember
You're
that.
good.
Is there a hair there?
Oh, man.
I'm
you're
losing
good.
my
You're
mind.
good.
Okay.
All right, so let's
There is a cat in the room somewhere, though.
Oh, so let's just do a group. Let's make the group together.
Okay.
Right? So I contend that you want to have somebody that is charismatic and creative at first, and you all know who my answer is. I'm gonna throw Dave Grohl, and he's the consummate performer.
Yeah.
We all know. I was like,
Yeah.
Well, but who do you want him as? You want him as your front man? Or
I
you
think
want
I
him
want him as my front man.
Are you kidding me, man? Because I've got a better front man
Who?
for
is
you.
it Freddie Mercury?
Of course it is.
Yeah,
Of
it's a
course
good one.
it's Freddie
It's a good
Mercury.
one.
There's no
You can have two
voice.
frontmen. You can have two frontmen.
Okay, all right.
Why? Then they're gonna fight. They're gonna fuck each other's girlfriends.
Well, they're all gonna fight.
Well,
They're
fuck
all-
each other's
you don't
girlfriends.
have
Worry about that with Freddie.
Well, you don't have to worry about Freddie. Yeah,
They're gonna break up
eventually.
eventually. So now we need another guitarist or bassist that is considered the greatest songwriter in history. Who is that?
Okay, so guitarist. Well, you
One
gotta
half of
go.
Tenacious D.
If you're going guitarist, of course you're gonna go with your like Jimi Hendrix. You're gonna go with your like who else?
But I'm saying this
Stevie
guy
Ray
needs to
Vaughan.
bring the songwriting. We need this guy. Like, are we bringing on a Beatle?
So our lead guitarist is also a songwriter.
Sure. Yeah. Oh well, we need to bring on a songwriter. Is what I'm saying. I'm saying we got two awesome frontmen, which were both good songwriters.
Okay, can I suggest our songwriter is what's his name? The guy that writes all of Meatloaf's songs, and he also wrote Total Eclipse of the Heart.
Wait, Meatloaf didn't write his own song?
No, it was this
What?
guy. Yeah, I forget.
No!
I
forget his
keep
name.
Now
remembering-
you're just the
but he
dude
was
from
crazy.
fucking... Oh!
You know
Yeah.
Elton John doesn't write his lyrics and stuff. Oh, he writes the lyrics. He doesn't
My
write the
life
music.
is a lie. Yeah.
No, which
yeah.
one is it? Does Elton John write the
Wait,
lyrics?
did
or
Justin
the-
Bieber write Out of Town Girl or no? Tell me now.
Listen,
We don't know.
Hold on a second. Meatloaf.
Dude, now I kind of want Meatloaf in the band because Meatloaf's awesome.
Dude, Meatloaf has to be like the guy that comes out and is just like, and he does his
but that's
fucking-
Freddie Mercury, so now we're doubling up.
Yeah. See, that's the thing. Okay, so, I mean, look, I know I keep going back to Queen, but Brian May, lead guitar, I mean...
So you just want to have Queen.
I kind of just want Queen! Why can't Queen just come back?
Well, yeah,
Well, okay, let's get a Beatle in there for sure. We need a Beatle in.
So your favorite is George Harrison.
I'm
love
going
George
with Ringo. Hey, he came up
Drummer?
with clever names.
Wait a minute. But if we're doing a drummer, if we need the ultimate drummer, we need the guy...
Dave
from the-
Grohl.
Well...
I'm taking Dave Grohl off guitar and we're throwing him on the
Okay,
drums.
that's fine.
There
If
we
you
go.
take Dave Grohl off
Okay.
lead and we put Freddie Mercury in lead,
There we go.
and then Grohl's on drums,
Yeah.
okay. Otherwise, it would have to be the guy from The Who, the drummer from The Who.
I'm so tired. The Foo Fighters, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like Foo Fighters guy.
Hold on,
But also he was
He was also a drummer from Nirvana.
right. Perfect.
He's the one that made Nirvana what it was. Come at me. I'm saying it.
I'm sorry, I need to find his name. I'm just gonna
Hey,
kill
no.
Jim Steinman! Jim Steinman.
You said it.
Steinman! Sorry, guys. I have Tourette's.
You
Jim
said,
Steinman!
you said it exactly like my buddy who had Tourette's when I was growing up.
Are you serious? You had a buddy who had Tourette's?
Yeah, it wasn't like harsh or
Okay.
anything, but it was more like a sound usually, but sometimes it would be words.
Would you
like,
have to ignore it? Like, were you ignoring it at some point? Or?
Well, the first day that he was in class, I laughed because I was like in middle school
Did
and an
everybody
asshole.
laugh?
Yeah,
at
little
him?
kids would do that.
Yeah, like half of it. But it was weird, like, because I feel like in some classes we would all be like, "Ah, you're fucked," but like it was just like, "Ha," like you couldn't stop it because like you're a kid and like shit like that.
Sure.
But then like
Yeah.
you get used to it.
Yeah.
Because it would be like quiet during a test, and then you just like.
Guys, I'm sorry, I can't handle it. I would not be able to handle it. In fact, I did it
It's so
without
unfortunate.
Tourette's. Unfortunately, I was the fucking kid in class.
So you're an asshole.
I was an asshole.
You
yeah.
can't relate being an
When it was
asshole to
quiet-
having like a thing.
Well, I don't know if I was an ass. I mean, maybe I was an asshole to the kids that
you were a
wanted to
troublemaker,
learn.
is
I
what
was
you're
a
saying.
big troublemaker,
Gotcha.
man. It would be quiet, and I'd just be like, Herb!
Just
I swear to God. And I perfected the fake sneeze.
You're the reason I like would never have gone into teaching. It was like dealing with that.
Yeah,
I
did your
did.
teachers hate you?
I'm sorry, yeah. But you know what's funny? The ones that didn't hate me were the really creative, awesome ones. Like, I had this teacher, and I went to Catholic school. Her name was Mrs.
Bassist Les Claypool from Primus.
Right?
Have we
Okay.
formed the band yet?
I think we just did.
I think
Wait,
we
I gotta
formed
say
the
this.
band.
Mrs. Burke was amazing. She was a hippie, and she was a teacher in a Catholic school. So think about that. She drove the VW bus. She was amazing, really artistic, really like kind. But like the nuns, you could tell. Like now that I'm older and I think about it, the nuns
They
were
all
trying
just-
to. They hated her, and they were trying to push her out, and they were trying to like get her fired, basically, because all the rest of the teachers were sisters, basically, and she was the only one that
What was her
wasn't a
name?
sister. Mrs. Burke.
So all the nuns were like, "Hey, Mrs. Burke, is that
Why all the-
student's pretty attractive? Would you, should you, huh?
Hypothetically,
Why all
would
the,
you?
why all
you?
the sisters be hating? Sisters be hating. I'm putting that on.
That's like a really bad Whoopi Goldberg.
Sister Act 3, sisters be hating.
That's fantastic.
Wait, we need to assemble the band. Who's the bassist?
We did.
Let's
I
play-
thought
let's
Les
did.
Claypool's our bassist.
We need a keyboardist.
Who? Quick, go.
How big is
Oh
this
no, that's
fucking
Billy Joel.
band?
Billy Joel.
Billy Joel.
Are we gonna have?
He's our songwriter,
Are
too.
we gonna have as many members as
Perfect.
fucking Slipknot?
It's gotta be
Where you just
big.
get confused. You're like, there's that one.
It's got to be like Polyphonic Spree, where there's 25 people in like robes just dancing on the stage.
Their music's great.
I love Polyphonic.
We got Kevin F. who says, "What does your desk look like? Is it messy? Are there any desk trinkets?" And yes, I did just ask about your desks. Hashtag desk talk.
Well,
That's the new show that we're coming out with in
Desk
3
talk.
weeks.
You want desktop?
We just travel around the United States highlighting people's desks.
Mine-
No, desktop talk would be. I don't want to say desktop. Desktop would be like the younger generation, like in a high school like classroom.
Oh, yeah.
So it'd be like three
All of them
teenagers.
connected.
Yeah, exactly.
On their little school TV
Yeah.
network that they would
Yeah.
broadcast in the morning. With
I'd
morning
watch it.
You can take it,
announcements.
kids.
Make
Go
that
ahead.
show.
Make
If
it
it's,
happen.
if it's
Channel
good, I'll
1.
watch
Did you
it.
get that shit broadcast into your school?
Channel
No,
1?
no, that was before me.
Well, moving on.
So my desk is it's kind of a mess. Like I have like a bunch of different like organized stacks of where Danny will put like papers and contracts and shit that I have to sign and like look through. But for the most part, it's email, but that's still there because you have to sign stuff. We have like our Streamy. We have our IWTV award because I'm like, I might as well. I used to be like, oh, awards, who needs those?
gotta
But I'm
put 'em
like,
somewhere.
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, I mean,
And they're blunt objects. If somebody attacks, you're protected.
oh yeah.
Yeah, I actually broke it the other day by lifting it.
Which
I didn't
one?
realize how shoddy like the craftsmanship. The one that's like really tall.
The big one.
Was that the streamy?
No, that
The
was one.
streamy is like kind of like
No, the streamy-
intertwined.
streamy
The
well
streamy
built.
is the one like from
It kind of
Dead
makes
Space.
It kind of makes sense. It kind of makes sense. I love all people, especially the people at IWTV. But the award that broke is also the award where my name's misspelled.
Oh, well, that makes
Oh.
sense. That's
So-
award karma.
It was a bad omen
Yeah.
from the start, basically.
Yeah, pretty
well,
much.
I think you've seen the hosts' desks because we,
Yeah, I mean,
we shoot in that
the-
room. all
That
the time.
room is always in a constant state of disarray, but I contend that my desk is always the cleanest.
Yours and Elliot's.
One, because I can't stand clutter, and two, because if there is a lot of clutter and it's not mine, I just push it onto Trish's.
well, you say Trisha's. Mine's at the end of the table, and I have markers. I have and I'm like,
Yeah.
who shit is
well,
this?
that's the thing. Like, I woke up, or go ahead. What
No,
were
and
you
it
saying?
doesn't even matter because by 11 o'clock, someone's already stole my desk. Because I'm like, oh, I'll go back. Fuck me, I guess.
Well, everybody wants to sit in the writers' room with us because
Yeah.
it's like the
We're
funnest
such a
room in the
delight.
building.
We are
That's
so
why.
much fun with our headphones in, not talking to each other.
and our farts.
Yeah.
I was like, what do you mean? It's like randomly quiet for
Yeah.
20 minutes, and then Meg is obscenely loud talking to you.
There's
and
an argument that starts
No,
up.
and then just like brings everyone except Elliot, who is just determined
He's
not to
zoning
be
in on
swayed.
Oh,
It's
Elliot's
Jay-Z.
perfect at zoning out.
Yeah.
I'm jealous actually because it's really you need it sometimes, especially when you're writing shit. But I love Lee with her random like, oh, nothing is puppy. It's the cutest thing I've ever seen.
Lee will she'll be writing a script sometimes, and she gets in this weird mode where she just if she's making characters or if she's working on a groundling sketch, she'll laugh at herself. She's like, you hear this? You hear this? And then she'll get into the characters' minds for a second, so she'll laugh, and then she'll go, oh yeah, yep.
Yeah, it's almost like she's. It's like
And
she's
we'll
a
just look
puppet.
at her, and and I'll go, Lee, what the fuck are you doing? And she'll look at me and sorry.
Yeah, she's kind of like a real life puppet.
Yeah,
basically.
I
She's
get that. I get that a little bit. I don't go as far as start talking. I'll be listening to someone and I'll be somewhere else thinking about how I would portray this if we did this in a sketch, and I'll start making faces and not realize it, and then someone will be like, what? And I'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm somewhere else.
Do you guys ever go over conversations in your mind? Let's say you're about to go into a business meeting or a confrontation. You're like, this is how I'm going to talk to this person. You'll start going back and forth, and if he says this, I'm going to say this. I'll do this all the time, and if I'm by myself, people will start seeing me do this. And then I'll catch myself doing it. I'm I'm crazy.
It looks like you're staring at someone saying, I want to fuck you.
Can I wait? Hold on. We need to get back on track here really quick because I need to talk about my desk.
Well, yeah, we've already talked about it. It's up to you now.
Yeah, well, my
Bring it on
desk is
home.
kind of messy, whatever. I'm kind of a mess. I'm a problem, but I'm not as messy as some people in the office. Just watch some of the videos in the writer's room and you'll see.
There's piles.
You'll see piles. But so my desk at Sony. At Sony, they were just personality, do whatever the fuck you want to your desk, make it you. And I was like, this is great. So I had literally a toy store at my desk. I had just toys everywhere. And then people would come down and bring me more toys and stuff like that.
You're creating an atmosphere of creativity. I love it.
Yeah, and that's what I like. And I would turn away from my work for a second and see my toys and be like, go into my zen place a little bit because of it. But I'll try to give you a picture of your show because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Put your hand in that bowl.
and that ended it. I
Yeah,
was like,
that's it.
And one time, Jared came over and he said, fuck your toys.
Yeah, and then he took us to Subway. Mac,
Good old Jared.
good old Jared. Mac from Twitter says, at project, whatever Roman numeral that is, I'm bad at Roman numerals. You guys know, when you look at it, are you good at it?
That's 13, bro.
How dare you? Is it because of the 3 little dashes?
Yeah,
Yeah.
don't worry about it.
XXX.
Yep. Okay. Let's just.
All right. On Twitter, he
I'm
has.
going to be wrong.
I know,
It's
right?
54.
Where's the most awkward place that you've ever fallen asleep? That's
Dude, I
pretty
got
good.
such a good story. I'll go last.
Okay,
Mine's not that good. Mine's probably in class and then just waking up with drool on my face.
I'm a pro sleeper. I fall asleep.
Here's also my
Anywhere and
problem.
everywhere.
I always think that I have stories from school and I can't remember if it happened or I watched a movie. I can't remember.
One time I got detention, and there was this girl there. She was kind of like a socialite in the school. There was this other weirdo. She was kind of an emo chick. There was a wrestler and a nerd. We're all in there on the weekend.
Were you in
And the principal was such a dick.
Did he do this at all? Did he have this routine? Well, really quick, I'm going to get kind of personal here. I had, when I was a bigger boy, I had sleep apnea. You guys know what sleep
shit.
apnea is? That
Yeah.
shit's intense. Your throat closes up while you sleep. You could die. It's very serious. A lot of people have it. And I would literally, so I would fall asleep while driving.
Oh my god.
It would happen way too often.
I've fallen asleep while driving. It's fucking frightening.
It's terrifying. And you know what? Like, I guess there's this thing called highway hypnosis.
Yeah.
Where, like, you just kind of don't remember the last 15 minutes. You weren't really asleep, but you were just kind of like, you know the road so well. And I would drive the PCH every day. And that's like one of the most dangerous fucking roads in California.
At any given time, you could just fly into the
and
ocean.
you're done.
Just
or
done.
like, yeah,
or into a freaking cliff that would just drop boulders
or
on
like,
you.
yeah, and if even when a fender bender happens on the PCH, you've fucked traffic for the next 4 hours.
It's
Basically,
done.
it's the worst. So, but I drove the PCH because it's a beautiful scenery, and I needed to get from Oxnard to Culver City every fucking day,
Good God.
which was 5 years of my life. Thank you, and
Oh my
that's why I'm great.
You were driving to Sony from Oxnard?
Oxnard.
That's
Yeah.
why you're
Dude.
so scared that we were gonna move for a while.
Dude,
You're like,
I know.
No, this is so sweet.
That, and I live so close to the
Yeah.
office. I thank whoever's out there. I just like,
That's the one
I can
reason.
walk to work. I can walk to work. Yeah, it's the only reason why I work here. But no, so I would fall asleep on the road and on the fucking PCH of all roads to
For
fall
how
asleep
long?
on.
Like,
I don't
2
know,
seconds at a
man.
time?
It might have been like a couple of seconds at a time. And one morning, I fucking like was at a stop, and I fell asleep. And then I just I guess I just instinctively hit the gas, and I fucking slammed into this person in front of me.
Oh,
it wasn't that
no.
bad. It was basically a fender bender, but I was like, okay, that was the wake up call.
Did
I
you
was
get
like,
out of the car and go, dude, I fell asleep?
Yeah,
Sorry.
I did.
You
I
told
got
him?
out of the
You
car.
told him?
I
Yeah,
wouldn't have.
I did.
No
I got out of the
way.
car and I was like, you know what, man? I got a problem. I fell asleep. I drive to Culver
You had a
City
coming
every
to
day.
God moment right
yeah,
there?
that was
I
my
have a
come to
problem.
God moment. Yeah, I was like, I'm so sorry. I'm an idiot. Like,
Was
and
he pissed?
No, he was totally cool, and he was like, what did he do? He
That's
like,
amazing
Yeah, he was
that he was-
super cool.
I almost killed myself. I crashed through a dude's mailbox, and he was angry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'm like, my car's all fucked, and like
You didn't ask me.
I'm like surprised that I'm not dead. There's like fucking water shooting through my like
Holy
engine,
shit.
and he's like, "You motherfucker!" I was like, "Are you serious?" I like lost my shit for like 30 seconds. I was like, "I almost died."
That's the worst thing in the world.
Anyway, but yeah, so-
yeah, no, I mean, and that's the thing. Like, and on the PCH, the kind of people that are on the PCH, there's a lot of hoity-toity drivers over there.
There's some nice cars.
There's some nice cars, let's put it that way. And this one was it was a nice car, but the guy was just like super cool. He was just like,
That's great.
you know,
Best
sucks,
guy to slam
man.
into
Yeah,
ever.
it happens. You know, don't worry about it, man. Like, it's cool.
We're going to be here for the next 4 hours. Why don't you take a seat?
I don't even think we exchanged our info.
Oh,
I
so you barely touched.
Well, I think I did do something, but maybe he had like amazing insurance or something, or maybe he had like somebody that could fix it.
Maybe
for
he
him.
stole a car and he just wanted to get away.
He had like a dead body in his trunk. It's cool, dude. Let's just do this. Yeah, but it was the best and worst car accident experience because it was a wake up call for me. I needed to do something about my fucking sleep apnea in my sleep, and then that guy was awesome.
Yeah, it's frightening. I've done it a number of times.
So what's yours?
Mine's okay. Here we go. It's a fun story. Actually, is this one of the things that? No, it's one of the ones where I'm going to tell you the end, and then we're going to build to it.
Oh yeah.
I slept
Like
on a
Memento?
highway.
Yeah, it's like Memento.
Yeah, I slept on a highway in the middle of nowhere once. On the road. If a car would have came, I would have probably died. Slept on a highway. Okay, so
Wait, no car. You're just sleeping on the road.
yeah, in my sleeping bag.
No. Oh my god.
Wait. What?
Here we go.
Here we go.
So, my friends and I, when we were in high school and when we were in college, we'd come back for the summer. We used to go to Canada. I've talked about this before. That's where we could go and be debaucherous before we were 21. So this was like our second or third trip trying to get there. It was me and my buddy Andrew, John, and Greg, and Dustin. And what we would do is we would drive through Glacier National Park and then get up to the Canadian border and go in. So we're all going. We're having a good time. We get up to the Canadian border. It's about 9 p.m., right? And they go, how much money do you have? We're like, well, I don't know, to go this much in our bank accounts. We're good. They're like, well, we want you guys to have cash on you. We're not going to let you into our country. They knew we were going to go up there and just look at their strippers and drink their beer. So they were like, no, we're not going to let you in unless you have cold, hard cash on you. We're like, crap. So the border closes at 10. So we have to go back into Glacier National Park, and it's about a 30-minute drive to the nearest ATM. So we're doing that. We're like, we're never going to make it. We're never going to make it. We go. We get to the ATM, get our money, drive all the way back up to the border, closed. They wouldn't let us in. So we're stuck in this weird like purgatory. We just got kicked out of Canada, and now we got to go back to Glacier National Park, which is on an Indian reservation. Or this part of it is in St. Mary's. It's right out of the park. So we go back, and we're like, well, what do? Well, let's go into this bar. We're 19. We go in. We get wasted.
Why were they allowing you to
it's that part of the... It's so out in the middle of nowhere, they just let us in. It's the type of bar where there was a dog dancing on the dance floor. And nobody questioned it. We're just like...
Right. So it's like the bar
Dogs got moves.
It's like the From Dusk Till Dawn bar.
Yeah. So we just get blitzed, right? And we go back to St. Mary's, Montana, which is the closest town and the only place to stay. And we get kicked out because we get kicked out of the town because we're too loud and rambunctious and we're laughing and having a good time. So we have nowhere to go. We literally can't go to Canada, and we're kicked out of Montana, the closest thing to Canada. So we have nowhere to stay and nowhere to go. And then we hear there's some girls up in a cabin that work they come from around the world and they work the park. So we're like, let's go talk to the girls in the cabins. It's 12 o'clock. We're walking up the road to this cabin on a hill, and a car comes up, and it's a man. He's like 50 years old, and he rolls down the window. I get in the window. I'm like, where? Can you tell us where the girls are? Can you lead us to the girls? And it turns out that guy's the chaperone of this whole place, and he gets pissed, and he's like, I'm calling the tribal police. The tribal police do not deal well with white boys. So 4 of us are just blitzed, and then we all scatter, and our one sober friend that had never drank in his life that has the car, and he's like, what's happening? Me and my friend, we run down an incline that's like 75 degrees. It's wood, and we hide on this slope, like trying not to fall for the next hour. And we can see down on the road the highway, and our friend with the car every 20 minutes would be just looking for us.
Holy shit! Wait, and so no
tribal
cell
police,
phones.
no cell phones or nothing. Our Indian friend Dustin, he's running around trying to find a place to hide. Of course, he naturally goes to the teepee. There's a decorative teepee here in Glacier National Park. So he runs up to the decorative teepee to lay down and sleep/hide. There's people in it. He lays down next to the people, realizes he's laying down next to people.
Wait, why were there people in it?
Because they rent out the teepee. So he got up and ran out of there. Meanwhile, our other friend Greg is hiding in a creek bed under a log.
What the fuck? This is like Stand By Me.
Yeah. So we finally all meet our friend on the highway. Our sober friend that like had never had to do anything like this before in his life. We finally all get in the car. We're like, what are we gonna do? We got nowhere to stay. We can't go to Canada. We're kicked out of Montana. The tribal police are looking for us. So we drive on, and we take a right onto this road that goes out to, the sign said Duck Lake, 30 miles or something. So we start driving out, and then we realize we're all tired and we have nowhere to stay. So about halfway to Duck Lake, we just pull over on the side of the road. In my drunken stupor, there's 5 of us in this small station wagon. I'm like, I can't sleep in here. I open the door, and I get out, and I walk into the field. And in the field is a barbed wire fence. In my drunken mind, I'm like, I'm going to sleep under the barbed wire fence.
Oh
so
my God.
I sleeping bag under the barbed wire fence, and I sleep there for about an hour, and then I wake up and I realize I'm freaking freezing because it's Montana. And I get up, and I go back to the car, and they're all in the car, and they're like, there's no room. So I go, fine. And I went behind the car, and I laid down on the highway, and I fell asleep. And I woke up alive. Don't drink.
Oh my God.
Crazy.
It's like,
why haven't you written a script about this?
It was
sounds
such a good
awesome.
I'm stealing it right now.
Yeah, exactly. Or someone is right now.
yeah, it's a good story.
I think that's the
Holy
perfect way to
shit.
end today's table.
That's
Yeah.
a long one.
Thank you for watching and hearing about how Joe almost died.
Yeah, he wouldn't be here right now.
Of course, all the same things. If you have questions, topics, things, and stuff, let us know. My name's Philip DeFranco.
I'm Steve Zaragoza.
I'm Joe Beretta. Seriously, drink responsibly.
And don't drink out of a square cup. How do you fucking drink? Like, this is the most awkward thing to drink out of. Is it just like the corner or something?
I think you just figured it out.
You're overthinking that shit.
Yeah, open your mouth and put stuff in it.
I mean, I'd rather just put pencils in it or something because it's the TARDIS, you know? I don't want to, like, drink out
I
of
finished season 2 last night.
What'd you think?
It's good. Is Billy Piper done?
Yeah, I'm not going to say.